Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BFredJones.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, _G Sports with a Z on the end. And on Twitter, G_Sports with a Z on the end.
You can follow me on Instagram at big_homie_hen and on Twitter at HeyYoU15.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Favorite, recruiting coordinator at Cafe Hope. If you're on the West Bank of New Orleans and between the ages of 18 and 23, come join our team. Benefits from learning and earning, getting certifications, life skills, and career training. Cafe Hope is a nonprofit culinary art and life skills program. Let Cafe Hope be the stepping stone to your next career choice. Come visit us, 1151 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Give Big Fav a call, 504-350-1218, or send them an email, marlon@cafehope.org. For more information, visit cafehope.org. Cafe Hope, the next step in life, baby. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody.
Know what it is? The FanView podcast, baby. Coach 10, we live, baby.
Oh, we live again.
And again, baby.
We back.
Yeah, we back, baby. Y'all already know what it is. FanView podcast. I'm that boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane here.
Listen, we gave y'all a treat. We going live today, here.
Yeah.
Live, like we used to.
You know, sometimes it's good to rock it back old school.
Sometimes to give y'all something that y'all all been asking for. First and foremost, appreciate everybody who's been subscribed to the FanView podcast. Now we on FanView podcast. If you're on IG, Facebook, TikTok, and we still FanView NOLA if you're on Twitter, and FanView podcast if you're on YouTube. So appreciate everybody who's been subscribed to the FanView podcast, and we appreciate each and every episode that y'all been listening to, commenting about. Man, we listen. We can't stop. We won't not stop. It's not stopping. This is the best podcast in the state, and trust me, it's just going to higher and higher and higher heights with this podcast. Listen, get subscribed, get locked in. But today's live, baby. NBA Finals.
Oh yeah,
Coach Hen.
Yeah.
Question for you: when this whole playoff started, would you ever, if somebody told you, have you envisioned that the number 1 seed in the Western Conference and the number 8 seed in the Eastern Conference will be the matchup?
I'll be lying if I said I did. Just based off of the season, I think the most consistent and the best team, regardless of record, has been the Nuggets.
Agreed.
Jokic has been the best player in the league for the
past couple of years.
Yeah, for the past 3. It's crazy how the year that he should have won the MVP,
he doesn't win the MVP.
Didn't win the MVP, but it's a testament of drafting well. They didn't get outside of Bruce Brown, KCP,
and Aaron Gordon.
They got him in a trade. Like later on in the career, but
they drafted that team.
It's drafted and they're healthy. Michael Porter is is what everybody thought he was going to be. Now that he's healthy, Jamal Murray after 2 years off is dominant. Then, Jokic. So and the thing is, the Lakers took out the Grizzlies for him.
Yep.
Um,
I think the Grizzlies would have been a problem for them.
yeah,
The way they match up.
I think the athleticism of Memphis. I think that's
Right.
the only thing because Jaren Jackson. They would have had Brandon Clark back.
Brandon Clark back. At least him or no, Brandon Clark would have been back because Steven Adams
would have been, might have been back. But it's part of the hand you dealt.
Right.
Who knows what type of series it would have been if Chris Paul would have played? Who knows what type of series it would have been if AD would have showed up for the Lakers or anybody not named LeBron James and Austin Reeves actually decided to play. But like I told you and G this last week. To me, this matchup is what's best for the NBA.
If somebody would have told me that Denver, I'm going to say this. These are two underdog teams. And I know Denver has had the best record in the Western Conference, and they've been one of the best teams in all of NBA throughout the regular season. But because they're a franchise who never made an NBA Finals appearance, people had them as an underdog, even as the 1 seed. They just didn't see Denver making the NBA Finals. And no one's going to convince me that a play-in tournament team was making the NBA Finals, which the Miami Heat did. There was a 9 seed, and they went on to play.
They lost to Atlanta.
Yeah, they lost to Atlanta.
And then they beat.
Then they beat the Bulls.
Yeah.
Then they beat the Bulls to become the 8 seed. They win game 1 against Milwaukee, which was a shocker to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Giannis gets hurt game 2. Mm-hmm. They end up winning that series in 6, which was a blower to everybody's mind, right? Mm-hmm. They go on to play the New York Knicks, which they was kind of favored. And it's nothing against the Knicks. It's just that their star player in Jalen Brunson, no one forecasted that he's a better star than Jimmy Butler, right? Mm-hmm. And the way the Heat is coached with Eric Spoelstra, a lot of people had the Heat favored to beat the Knicks.
Well, and you got, just because of the Knicks franchise, you got to
think. And watered down their league.
Yeah, but also I think the Knicks was just happy just to be out the first round. They hadn't been out the first round since they had Carmelo Anthony.
Agreed.
And then Amari Stoudemire and all of them.
It's a long time ago.
So I think they was just happy to be out the first round. But that's a young team, too. Jalen Randall is, Julius Randle is the
is the vet in the game.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody else is year 3, 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, they, getting Brunson was great for them. And they're going to be a problem. I don't want to say they'll be a problem. They're going to be a tough out.
They're going to be a tough out for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
Well, with Mitchell Robinson and R.J. Barrett and some of the other key players, Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out moving forward. The Knicks end up getting past over the Cavaliers, but the Cavaliers got knocked out. Mm-hmm. And the Miami Heat got past the Knicks. What no one really forecasted with them getting past Boston. Everybody thought they was over. The Cinderella season is coming to a close, and they blew everybody's mind by winning Game 1 and Game 2 in Boston, in TD Garden. They shocked everybody. Mm-hmm. Jimmy the Butler. So they shocked everybody by going to Boston and winning those first 2 games, and then winning Game 3 in Miami. Everyone kind of knew the series because the history had said at that point in time that, listen, nobody's came down from a 3-0 deficit. It was 150, 0 and 150 when the Lakers got swept to Denver. So they gave up 3 games, mm-hmm. and then they ended up closing Boston out in Game 7 in Boston to be the first play-in tournament team and then the second 8th seed in NBA history to make the finals.
And so one thing I think that gets lost with the Heat is, and I get it, Jimmy Butler is a dog.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the best series against the Cavs. I mean, not the Cavs, against the Celtics.
Caleb Martin.
If Caleb Martin is not in uniform, they don't win. The boy, he shot the lowest in those 7 games he shot was 45%.
Caleb Martin, big deal.
Because they lost. I'm about to say Austin Reeves. No, Austin Reeves not their point guard. Gabe Vincent.
That was Gabe Vincent in game 5.
And he got hurt. But
he got hurt game 4, but he didn't play game 5.
But it's like you substituted him for your original starting point guard in Kyle Lowry, so it wasn't that much of a drop off. The problem that the Celtics had was turning over the ball.
Jaylen Brown won.
Who was turning over the ball?
It was who? Jaylen Brown.
But not only Brown, but like Tatum had like 40-something turnovers. And it's like that's one that he's got to fix.
This is the second year in a row where Tatum has had these repetitive turnovers. Like last year, I think he had a postseason record for most turnovers by a player. Mm-hmm. And in this postseason, he has some turnovers again. And I think that's the part of his game that if he's going to become
what he's talented
to be and get to what people call the next level of his game is the turnover battle, particularly postseason. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he sprained his ankle in the first quarter of that game in Game 7, and he played through it. And to Jason Tatum's credit, man, listen, he didn't have an excuse why they lost. He didn't put that out there in the media, but he sprains his ankle. I mean, your co-star. I mean, God damn, Jaylen Brown. I thought you let the phrase out there. Listen, the turnovers, man. Boston had to, and again, Miami with Eric Spoelstra, they've been there before, and so this is starting to come to, this is what, the third time now that the Heat and the Celtics now, since the bubble, have been in the conference finals. Mm-hmm. I don't think no one's paying attention to that. They played each other in the bubble where the Heat beat them, and the Heat goes on to play the Lakers. Last year, the Heat played them again, and Boston won, and Boston goes on to play Golden State. Now this year, the Heat wins this same matchup, and the Heat goes on to the finals to now face Denver. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting matchup, but I do want to say this, though, and you may disagree with me. I appreciate both teams' road to the finals. And I think this is going to be a highly viewed NBA Finals, but I don't have it as box office as people think it is.
I don't view, no, but I think this is the best case scenario for the league. And what I mean by that is, if you can't make it a year without one of your blue bloods in a championship, you're destined to fail as a league. Golden State wasn't a blue blood before they got to the championship. Not the Lakers. The Cavs wasn't one.
The Cavs had a certain player.
So we've seen this before. Like, think about how good it was for the league that Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace
Detroit
beat that
Laker team.
You know what I'm saying? With Karl Malone, with
Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton.
We knew, what I'm saying, but like that, you had like 4 Hall of Famers on that team. Now, granted, 2 of them was like at the end. That it was dog days.
In their career,
But this is, to me, this is what's good, because technically Denver is a small market. Technically, Miami is considered small market.
Yeah, because
if you look at the size per capita,
correct,
and all that. So you got 2 small market teams
making the finals.
To me, like, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm sitting there like, thank you. This is great for us, because now you can convince it's a monkey do type league, right? So now you can sit there and be like, to the star players that's around the league, like, you can sit there and be like, look, if you stay put and let us just build around you, not make all these crazy demands, just trust the process that we got. And if we got the right people doing the right job, it's gonna show. And it showed. Because when you look at we already talked about earlier the Denver Nuggets roster, mostly in-house in-house talent.
And well coached in Mike Malone.
Well, when you look at the Heat roster, let's go down the line. You got Tyler Hero.
Yeah, drafted.
Bam, who's drafted by you.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler is a free agent.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is a free agent.
Yeah.
Everybody else is undrafted players.
from Gabe Vincent to Caleb Martin to Duncan Robinson to Max Strus. Listen, it's
All-
undrafted guys.
So
And the only other guys are free agents, Kevin Love. But I don't know how many minutes Kevin Love.
Come on now. That's just like counting Udonis has on this roster. He there, but he ain't there. That's just it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But like to me, like that speaks that is bringing it back to you got to respect coaching. You got to respect coaching because quiet as kept, it might have been the best coach Final Four for the NBA. From what Darvingham took this team,
how they revamped that roster
right before the trade red line, and they wasn't even in the playoff. They wasn't even playing, and you go, boom,
to the conference finals.
And, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. Just for all your people, just like, we got to stop playing. But to get what you got out of Rui Hachimura and company, but then it shows you also on the other side, like Boston, they're a talented roster. That roster is talented. They might still
be the most talented roster in the NBA, hands down. And I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you.
They did not trust their coach.
They didn't trust the coach.
The coach didn't have their ear. And I said it to G last week. I said it to a couple of my coaches at the school.
I agree.
If Emi Udoka was coaching that team,
you got a different outcome.
I'm sorry. It's the Nuggets and the Celtics. It's not even close. It's not even close. I don't care what nobody say. It's not even close. Not even close. Hey, you put a different coach on the team on the Sixers team, especially the version of James Harden that you had got. The Sixers might be there.
And it was now they got Nick Nurse. Moving forward. Now, the question is, the question going to be there is James Harden re-signing and what pieces we figure we're going to add next to, him and Embiid. Obviously, we know Max is there. We don't know what Tobias, what the contract situation is over there, but we don't know. But, getting Nick Nurse, who's an NBA champion coach, who coached a pretty good team in Toronto, got them to the finals when they had Kawhi and they won it. But I think Nick Nurse is a hell of a coach. I will say this about this finals, though. And I'm going to exclude Greg Popovich from this conversation because obviously he's like an honor. We already know what Greg Popovich is in terms of being the best coaches in the NBA. But the Spurs are right now, Pop is old, you know what I mean? So I don't want to include him in the best coach in the NBA conversation just because.
I can't.
I do, but Pop gonna be calling quits.
I get it, but if we talk about the NFL, you drove Belichick in there.
Yeah, but Bill ain't call it quits yet. Man, Greg went from having all kind of head to having no head, man. Greg calling it quits.
But Greg damn near 90.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's why I won't put him in the conversation.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to put Greg in the conversation.
But as long as he's on the sideline, he got to go to the conversation. That's just what it is.
Well, listen.
Anytime you got Hall of Fame next to your name, you got to go to the conversation.
Okay, listen. Greg Popovich is one of the best coaches in basketball. That's when you look at the game. I don't want to bring Greg into this because they have nothing to achieve in San Antonio. But congratulations for the first pick. But Wembanyama, old victim. But when you look at this matchup, I think Mike Malone and Eric Spoelstra are arguably the two best coachings that we have in this league right now. Mike Malone has been doing this for several years now. They just been without Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
but Eric Spoelstra is just, to me, he's the best in the business. And I have Steve Kerr underneath both of them.
It's tough. It's honestly tough for me because, for me to the NBA, the assistant coaches are so
important.
Pivotal.
True.
That you could tell.
True.
Like us in New Orleans, we couldn't stand Alvin Gentry as the head coach,
right?
But he was pivotal to what the Warriors did. You don't think Mike Brown was pivotal to the Warriors?
Oh, he was critical.
Look at how they played when he was there versus and then look what he turned around did in Sacramento.
Sacramento.
So But it's that's a slippery slope.
I got these two guys at the top of the list.
Question I want to ask you: Miami wins if, and Denver wins if.
Miami wins if Tyler Hero returns. Denver wins because Nikola Jokic is the best player in basketball, and he doesn't get hurt. Miami is more deeper than Denver.
I think that's the opposite way around.
No, I think Miami's more deeper.
I think it's the other way around.
I think Miami's more deeper than Denver.
I think it's the other way around.
What you see is what you get in Denver. What you see is what you get.
But look at what you get though.
Yeah, okay. You get Aaron Gordon, you get Michael Porter, and you get Jamal Murray, and you get Jokic. It stops after that.
No, it don't.
Bruce Brown and
KCP
and KC. Oh man, I'm not counting KCP. I ain't giving KCP that much credit.
In their system, you got to. It's proven. And I can see if it was just a 1 year thing. It's been 2 years, and the numbers are the same.
But when you look at Miami, you look at Jimmy Butler, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, Kyle Lowry.
You just named two out of people you named two people that's been there before.
Yeah,
that's it.
No, Kyle Lowry. No, that Miami team has been in the finals. All of them been in the finals.
No, not all of them.
Hero's been there.
That's it.
Jimmy's been there. Bam has been there. Kyle Lowry's been there.
Was Hero really there?
He was there. He was a rookie. He was there.
Really there? I'm saying he didn't show up. Just like Duncan Robinson. He was on the roster. He wasn't there.
He was there.
He was in the building. He was in the building. He wasn't there.
He was there. He was there.
You know what I'm saying? But
he didn't show up.
Like to me, honestly, Miami wins.
I think they need Hero though.
To me, it's not even about Hero. Miami wins if Denver lets them win. What I mean by that is, to me, I think it's Denver first, second, third, and then Miami. It's that because you're not stopping Jokic.
No, you're not stopping him.
He's
too skillful.
The best thing about Jokic is
too skillful.
He loves to get everybody else involved.
Yeah.
Well, with you directing so much attention to him, Bam not gonna be able to stop him. But on the flip side, he can stop Bam. That's a problem. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. Aaron Gordon is not going and that's who I think that Denver's going to roll out to play against Jimmy. But Aaron Gordon is not going to be able to stop Jimmy, but he can make life
hard.
Living hell.
Hard. He made life hard.
You're talking about you coming off of Game 7, you're going to the altitude. Like that's
yeah.
In that series, the way that you ended Game 7. Then traveling to the altitude against a team that's been resting and been scouting you for 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, I won't give them full 10 days of scouting. I'll give them for sure. Like when you went up 3-0 for sure, they started scouting.
They started scouting.
No matter what Boston started doing, they was like
they started scouting.
And then when Boston made it a series, they started scouting Boston, but they still had this stuff on you already.
Right.
You just it's turn around the fact that the only and I would say this too, Miami wins if the moment is too big for the Nuggets because outside of KCP, nobody on that roster has been to the finals before.
I agree, and that does play into Miami's favor because from a coaching standpoint and from a roster standpoint, they got guys who played in these games, and I think Miami still has the taste in their mouth where we had a chance to win in that bubble, and they didn't win.
They had a what chance?
That's what they believe.
Well, shit, they shitting me.
That's what they believe.
Mm-mm.
And so, to me, I think Miami, they overcome a lot. I do just think that they do need Hero at some point in time in this series to win this series. I think they got this far without having Hero, but I'm not putting my money on them winning this series without him. I think they need to be all chips on. If he's eligible, he's cleared to practice, but at some point he needs to be cleared to play. And I think if he plays, he gives the Heat an additional advantage. If he doesn't come back, I just don't have the Heat winning the series. But Nikola Jokic has earned every MVP honors that he's gotten these past couple years. He should have won it this year. And I do think the Denver Nuggets win this series. And they start off to me by winning Game 1 tonight. That's my position. The Denver Nuggets win this series. I think Miami had a great run. They had a great season. To their credit, they're the second team to only make the NBA Finals as an A seed, and I think they had a hell of a run. But I think the run is over with, and Denver gets their first NBA championship.
And before we move on, I think another key thing is I don't think it's gonna come down to the star players. The star players, they're gonna get them.
They're gonna get them.
It's all about the bench. If Denver bench outperforms Miami bench, they win. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. It's not even close. If Miami bench outperforms Denver's bench, I think it's a tight game. That's that's why I think it's different, because you're not gonna stop Jokic. Murray at any given time can go off, and the thing is, if they put Jimmy on him, now you're putting the ball back in Jokic's hand full time.
Good luck.
And
good luck.
Watch out for Aaron Gordon. Watch out for Porter. You know what I'm saying? They are. Yeah, it's
good luck.
It's good for the NBA.
It's good for the NBA, and I'm be watching them happy. We got Game 1 tonight in Denver. But moving forward, we're gonna talk some NFL coaching. DeAndre Hopkins, who the Cardinals have been shopping for some time, was officially released. He's now has clear waivers. Who do you think the best team is for DeAndre Hopkins? What do you see him best fitting at now that he's an officially a free agent? He can sign with any team out there.
I honestly would say, to me, it's two teams. Now, you can easily say the Chiefs.
AFC or NFC?
They both AFC.
Ooh,
they both AFC.
Going back to the AFC.
They both AFC.
Done with the NFC.
You could easily say the Chiefs, but just the realistic point of view is they only got $1 million in cap space. They got $1 million in cap space. It's too much to cut, restructure, and all that stuff. And then I don't think to me they do so much without having that type of guy.
Right.
You know, they because the system is a system. That's just what it is.
Right.
To me, I think 1A is Cleveland.
Panama back with his boy.
But
Deshaun.
Because like so, it's
him and Amari Cooper, the duo.
But see, like it goes.
Njoku.
To me, it goes. It's like that's all fine and dandy. That's like that's big components of it, but it starts off for the past couple of years especially under Kevin Stefanski. Man, they've been an elite running team.
Yeah,
they've been an elite running team. So
I would be too if you had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yes. So think about the box you about to get. You're gonna get a crowded box because of them too, and you only have to worry about Njoku and Amari Cooper. You put D-Hop on that team. Now, it's like, what you going to live by? I'm going to live by crowd in the box? Well, shoot, we about to tear you up on the outside.
Yeah.
Do I live by protecting the outside? Well, we about to tear you up in the box. So now you got a real deal play balance, and it kind of makes you one-dimensional.
Gotcha.
To me, it's like if that's 1A, this is like 1A minus. The Buffalo Bills.
The Bills.
You know, you go into a situation. I think they found
Ken
out.
Dorsey, won't you do something for me?
I think they found. I think the Bills found out last year. You know, and I don't blame them. Especially how the year previous, how Gabe Davis ended off the last couple of weeks of the season. Then his last game against the Chiefs, when he was just going crazy. He warranted to see if he was a true number two. This season, it showed that he wasn't.
Yeah.
And that might be fine, but to me, he'll be a damn good number 3.
Yeah.
If so. But you talking about Stephon Diggs, who, cause Gabe Davis wasn't
A clear number 2. And Isaiah McKenzie is gone. I think he went to the Colts.
Yeah. So now you realistically, like, you can't do much over here because you're getting all of the double, the roll coverage and all that stuff. Without Brian Dabo, they didn't use Dawson Knox real good at all this year with Ken Dorsey. They didn't run the ball as good this year as well. So now it's like if you put D Hops on that team, it automatically balances the field. You know what they about to do. But with the emergence of D Hop, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis is now number 3, Dawson Knox. That's just formidable. That's just formidable, especially with a guy that can now. He doesn't have to worry about a roll coverage. You can't roll the coverage because
Got Diggs.
you can't roll the coverage to D Hop because of Diggs. You can't roll the coverage to Diggs because of D Hop. But also now you saying your safety got to be a man because you got Gabe Davis who got elite speed.
He can get down the field. He can stretch the field. And to Hopkins' game, at this point in his career, he's not that field stretcher that he was early on.
But the catch rate,
the catch rate is never going to end. That's who he is as a receiver. That's his stamp on his game. The catch rate is proximity, bitch. It don't listen. That's what he always is going to be. Mm-hmm. I would agree with you with Buffalo, but the other team I would add would be the Ravens. And here's the reason why I add the Ravens into it. Because when you signed Odell Beckham, I do think Odell Beckham he still has number 1 receiver ability. In terms of, like, I think he can make all the cuts. I still think he can make all the routes. I think he can make all the plays. But durability, now at this point in time in his career, does not, to me, I think he's best fitted as a 1B option to any offense. Kind of how when we saw him in the short period of time with the Rams, he was a 1B option to Cooper Kupp. And we saw the plays soon he gets traded from Cleveland. He comes in and gets 40-plus catches, over 4 or 5 touchdowns, and he had a star quarterback. If you add DeAndre Hopkins to this offense now, you have Mark Andrews. Mm-hmm. You're getting KJ Hill back. Lamar is satisfied because you gave Lamar the contract. He's signed. We know he's going to be here for 5 seasons now. I don't think it's fitting that Odell Beckham is still going to be the best wide receiver on the offense. I know you drafted Zay Flowers, but when you put a DeAndre Hopkins there, what his catch rate is, right? DeAndre can make all the possession plays. Odell can still do what he's going to do, and Zay Flowers can come in and learn and still make elite plays along with Mark Andrews. To me, it expands the Ravens' offense from being this such run-heavy offense to allowing Lamar to also now rely on the receiving weapons that he has around him.
So the one reason why I would say that's a bad move for the Ravens, simply because you got Rashad Bateman that you drafted.
Yeah, but
he
ain't hot.
He got hurt.
He ain't hot.
You know what I'm saying? He got hurt. You just drafted Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
You got
because Bateman hurt.
You know what I'm saying? Zay Flowers just got there.
Yeah, but they drafted fucking Zay Flowers. If Bateman was always healthy, they wouldn't need Zay Flowers.
You know what I'm saying? Like he got hurt, but like when he was playing, it was like, okay, you see what you got going on right there.
Yeah.
So when you add veterans, like 2 vets like that to the team, you automatically gonna hinder them because let's face it, 1 or 2 years, like you paying them, those 2 are first round picks. Those 2 are that's first round money that you paying just to sit on the bench. You can't afford that, not especially right after what you just did. It's a brand new offense, so you don't, and Ty Monken has been a 3 wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver.
They got 2 tight ends at Baltimore.
You know what I'm saying? So and they got 2 damn good ones in Mark Andrews and Jalen Ivey. So you're getting your running backs back. So you realistically, putting somebody like Hop on the team is going to hinder the growth of what can be. Like to me, Hop is best served going into the number 2 role / number 3. You're gonna have to have two people already there.
Can't see Hop at number 3.
It is what it is at this point in career. Like he's you can
He's
still
older.
he can.
He'll be the number 2 in Cleveland.
Yeah, he was still just because you number 2 or number 3 don't mean you shits. It means based on if you go like I said.
I'm also picking Baltimore because to me they're gonna have expectations. And
no, they got expectations. You don't give Lamar that contract and start making the moves and start the appeasement part of appeasing of Lamar into this segment, without
expectations.
So it's to me, I don't see how
you got to consider potential finals opportunity.
Yeah,
I get that.
And then two, he's a free agent, so he's at this point in his career he done enough losing. He's not looking for 9 winning situations.
Yeah.
So, because at first I would say, man, you know what, the Giants, because he go back to the Giants, be the number 1.
Yeah.
Easy. But it's
I don't think the Giants have that divisional.
They don't have. Do they have the expectations?
No.
But
No,
the Jaguars. That's another team.
Well, if you put him in Jacksonville, that will put you got Calvin Ridley. You put him down there, and you put Christian Kirk moving into a slot situation. You know what I mean? But Calvin Ridley has been out of football for a year and a half now since he's been suspended. So you got to get him back into football game shape.
Mm-hmm.
D-Hop, he could come in there, and Christian Kirk could make big plays, but he ain't. I never thought Christian Kirk was a number 2 in this league. I think he can stretch the field. I think he can make number 2 plays. But when I think of number 2s now, number 2s have evolved so much in this league now. We thinking of guys like Devontae Smith. We thinking of guys like T. Higgins. We thinking of guys like Jalen Waddle. Guys who could probably be a number 1 on a bad team, but a number 2 in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen Christian Kirk like that.
But had he really had the opportunity?
Yeah, he had the opportunity this year. You ain't see nothing from him. He was the only one up.
Why you didn't see nothing from him?
What you saw? You saw number 1 ability? I ain't seen number 1 ability.
It was all he had. It was all they had. Him
and nobody else.
Hey, and they got
Zay Jones.
Made it to the playoff with him.
Yeah, they got sunshine. That might have been good. You saw him and Etienne doing the same shit from Clemson. That's what you saw.
Nah, I seen make a play, Kirk. Make a play, Kirk.
Kirk ain't doing nothing like
man,
that.
Shit, look at his numbers. Like that. You got to my phone. Look at his numbers.
I seen Christian Kirk numbers.
No, I did.
He ain't like that.
Shit, obviously he was.
Somebody had to kiss the ball.
Shit, hey.
Somebody had to kiss the ball. But Christian Kirk ain't out here. Wowing nobody, man. Come on now.
But
Jacksonville, I do think it's a spot that Hop could end up at. I never thought about the Giants, but I think the Giants are just not. Man, I think the way DeAndre Hopkins plays, if he had to go out here and just play with Daniel Jones.
But see, think about what I said with Cleveland. Run first is automatically going to change the box for you. The problem with the Giants is I don't see another guy that was like that you could take and be like, all right, D-Hop, you don't have to be the man today because you got Richie James. Who's that? Isaiah Hodgins. Who's that? That guy. Whoever that guy is. Don't know. They just got Darren Waller.
Yeah, but Waller has been through injuries for the past 2 or 3 seasons. He's been hurt, so you can't depend on Waller.
Ever since he put down the bottle.
Yeah.
Pick
it back up, brother. Pick it back up, brother. Pick the bottle back up. But I got another team to throw out there for you. Let's put a little rinky-dink in this. It was just in my head.
Bro, to me, it's all AFC.
What about the Jets?
So, Jets, I don't see how the money will work.
You could release Corey Davis.
I don't see, even still, I don't see how the money will work because not only did you sign
Cobb and Lazard,
You also got, you got
Gary
You
Wilson.
know what I'm saying? But you got Aaron Rodgers too. You got Aaron, you know what I'm saying? You got Aaron Rodgers, but you also going into a year where you got to make a decision on your left tackle, Mekhi Becton.
1 year deal.
If he is healthy and shows any type of talent that you thought he had, you're gonna have to pay him. All right. The defense you about to have to start paying.
Oh yeah. Well,
Quick.
see, they already. Listen, Nicole Lynn has already got the Jets. Like, look, he ain't coming in here without a deal.
So that's why I'm saying. So like, you are like you can't afford to say, yeah, come on, D Hop, and like when it's like, oh, that extra $5-10 million could have been used as a signing bonus to re-sign Quinn Williams.
Yeah,
can't do it. Interesting team.
What about the
Lions?
Lions? Yeah, because Jamison Williams is gonna be suspended.
So you got Amon-Ra
Ain't
St.
trying
Brown.
to catch no ball from Jared Goff. We ain't going
Shit,
nowhere over here in Detroit.
But hey, shit, I don't know.
Where you going?
I don't know.
Where you going to Detroit?
I don't know.
Jared Goff throwing the ball.
Who is stopping them now?
Minnesota's still somewhere
Man,
in the
come
picture.
on, man. Hey, they split a game last year.
Last year.
They split a game last
Ain't
year.
no more Jamal Williams over there. Jamal Williams is in Who That Nation, bitch.
Yeah, and he and DeAndre Swift is well.
In Philly.
Okay, so they tell you what they ain't about to do. They tell you what they ain't about to do.
What a tight end that, man. Look,
They drafted one in the first round. They drafted Ivy in the first round.
Okay.
They
Hockenson over there in Minnesota.
They drafted Jameer
Gibbs out of Alabama.
I'm in Ross St. Brown. You put D Hop over there.
Josh Reynolds.
When week 7 is here, you add Jamison Williams back to the front. Oh my, that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal.
I don't trust Jared Goff.
Trust the system, because they had the best offense last year, bar none.
I can't put my faith in Goff. I'm not signing Detroit.
I'm not telling you to put your faith in God. I'm telling you put your faith in your degree. God damn it, you got a degree in finance. Finance equals numbers. The numbers say that damn Detroit offense was potent.
It was. St. Brown was putting up some he was putting up some numbers. Last year.
St. Brown
put up numbers.
Is a younger version of what D Hop is.
I like St. Brown.
When you look at body, when you look at body type, all that stuff. To me, that's the only NFC team that I see that's like, yeah, that makes
what about the Rams?
Sense. That don't make sense.
Him and Cooper Kupp?
That don't make sense. That don't make sense. I don't see it making sense simply because
Stafford on the ball.
I think you need some. Like, do you trust McVay anymore?
Yeah, of course I trust McVay.
How?
I trust McVay.
His offense went ass backwards.
Of course, Cooper Kupp got hurt.
I'm talking about like everything, like play call and all that stuff. Like he contemplated retirement simply because, like, hey, the league caught up with my offense.
No, he tied. Tied
from what? He younger than us.
He played in 2 Super Bowls in the past 5 seasons.
He ain't played nothing.
He coached him.
He young. The boy barely 30. What is he tied
He's barely
from?
40.
That man ain't 40.
He barely 40. He's like in the late 30s.
He's younger than us. We're older than Sean McVay.
What I'm trying to say is, man, the man spent a lot of time around here, man. Get him in the break. Man. I trust McVay. I trust Sean McVay.
I don't. Because it's like this. If I'm D-Hop, this is what I'm looking at too.
A lot of pressure in Los Angeles.
There ain't shit out there, but goddamn,
man won a Super Bowl.
Man,
how you gonna not trust the guy who won a Super Bowl?
Who
I don't trust is the guy on the other side or SoFi and goddamn Brandon Stanley. That's who I don't trust.
Yeah, don't trust him. Don't trust him. I don't trust none of that. But
that's what I don't trust.
Look, he won chip block away from not having that Super Bowl. But I digress. But like, to me, like, that's the only NFC team that, like, yeah, because like, if I look at what Allen Robinson did in that system, it's like,
oh, it's a drop off. Oh, it's hard.
Yeah. So it's like, nah.
And they're not that far. in terms of styles.
So it's like
their style is similar.
D-Hop has had a better career, but like where he's at this stage in his career, like y'all similar
y'all
right
similar.
now.
They have a similar style.
If I see what you did with him, like nah, that ain't for me. That ain't the move. I wouldn't do that. So like the only NFC team to me that I'll feel comfortable with would be
Detroit,
and everybody else is in AFC. A wild card, the goddamn Dolphins. Jesus, that would just be scary.
If they had
that would be scary.
I like Mike McDaniels and the way he thinks.
That would be scary.
He's so innovative the way he thinks, right? But here's my thing, right? In this offense, obviously they don't have much of a rushing attack. Obviously, the offense is really predicated on Waddle, Hill, and being explosive and making plays and get downfield. If you look at what DeAndre can do, he'll eat up any of these short balls. Mm-hmm. Anything between 5 to 15 yards, motherfucker, is on like dunk cone. The only reason I question the decision to go there is that I don't know who the backup quarterback is in Miami because I have health concerns with Tua. If Tua gets sacked, we saw it last year, and I think that could duplicate. I don't know who the backup is. If they had a serviceable backup there, I'd be like, man, go there because it don't really matter if he starts or the backup starts. This train gonna keep moving. But if you don't know who the backup is, because I got a question Tua Tagovailoa's health moving forward. So that's my only concern with him going to Miami. It's because of the health of Tua. If Tua can show that he could be healthy, but then again, if he gets sacked, you don't know. The question marks start to come in.
Is it Andy Dalton that's the backup?
No, Andy Dalton's in Carolina.
Barbecue chicken.
That's why I question it. I'm like, dang, Miami is a good place, but man, I got to question Tua because man, he can get sacked, and you like, you know what? He out for 8 weeks, concussion protocol or whatever the case.
Backup quarterback.
Don't know.
Might be Matt White.
I think it might be Mike White from the Jets.
Because Jimmy Garoppolo failed his physical.
Jimmy Garoppolo is still under contract with the Raiders, but he failed his physical. I think Mike White got traded down there to got traded down there to free agency. I think he went to the Dolphins. Yeah, and Mike White could play shit. Mike White could do the ball. Yeah. I like Mike White.
Man, it don't take much to understand that. Look, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle about to run folks off, and D-Hop eat up in the middle. So like, you human nature, you get tired, eat up in the middle. Man, I'm about to come down there, over the top, bombs over bad dad.
Yeah, and they got a serviceable tight end down there. They just can't run the football. That's just me. But
you know what I'm saying? But moving on,
moving on.
Before we close out, we got to talk about the Saints.
We got to talk about Airline Highway, man.
So going into year 2 under the Dennis Allen regime, what are some things that you're still concerned about? What are some things that roster wise that you're kind of happy about, and post draft and all that stuff? Just give your your overall view of the Saints football as a whole.
I still have question marks on the Saints D-line. I know we added some players to the D-line through the draft. Obviously drafting the D tackle in the first round, coming back in the very second round drafting the D out of Notre Dame, drafting the D tackle out of Clemson. I still have question marks in terms of Peyton Turner, and Cam Jordan still being the best player on this D-line. Now that we're missing Ayamada, now that we're missing Shy Tuttle. So I still have question marks there, and I think that D-line has been one of the staple points of this defense when we became the defense that people regarded us as. Mm-hmm. So I have question marks there, and I think that under Dennis Allen, I want to get that cleared up. I want to get that ready to go because I think that's going to be one of the focal points for this team. On the offensive side of the ball, we're still trying to figure out an identity. And I think that's where my other question mark is. You're bringing in Derek Carr to a receiving core that still has something to prove. I don't want to call it a question mark. I think Rashid Shaheed proved that he's a speedster. He's proven that he can get the ball in space. We know what Taysom Hill can do when he gets the ball out of the backfield under the quarterback position. We know what he is. Michael Thomas is just durability. Chris Olave had a heck of a rookie year, and we've seen some things from Chris Olave that proves that he could be a number one receiver in this league, but it definitely he could be regarded as a T. Higgins or a Devontae Smith or someone of that caliber type player, right? But overall, Pete Carmichael is the question mark on this offense. Is Pete Carmichael still the guy that we need to still have on this offense moving forward? So that's a big question mark to me. What I do like about this defense, what I saw last year, was I loved Alontae Taylor. I thought that we thought he could play safety at some point in time in this game, but when he came in and played corner when Lattimore was out, man, I saw a star. I saw a guy, and I didn't believe it until they played the Raiders last year, and what he did against Devontae Adams, holding him to one catch, 3 yards. I said, that kid's a starting to make it. And I think I love that combination with him and Lattimore moving forward. And I like the secondary. I just think that as a team, we gotta play team football. And I do think that I want to see some plays made on special teams. So I like some of the things that we do, but the question mark still to me is Pete Carmichael getting his offense moving forward. That D line on the defense, and overall some special teams plays. But I love the combination at corner.
I'm gonna start off with the D line. I think they did a phenomenal job in the draft to get a Brian Brzee. To his question mark is gonna be help. To get an Isaiah Fowski. I think he could be that tweener guy, that guy that can play outside or inside, depending on I guess the down the distance and the front that we in. One of the things that we did do, especially when we lost Ryan Neeson, who's been phenomenal at his job. I think he's been one of the best D-line coaches in football in the league for the past couple of years. We went out and got a mastermind at D-line. Not saying that Ryan Neeson wasn't, but you went and got Ty Grantham, formerly of the DC and the Florida Gators. And the one thing, like every D-line coach every D-line that he's coached, their sack numbers has went up. Now, what that might mean is we might not be as stout against the run.
Right. But they maybe rush the quarterback back.
But in this league, and especially like the only team that you got to worry about, especially like first you got to start your division. The only team you really got to worry about running that pill like that is Atlanta. Because that's what Arthur Smith does. He's gonna run first, run second.
But he has the backs now to do it with B. John Robinson, Corey Passer, and Algeria. They got the backs.
You gotta think they also got Derrick Henry.
Well, that's Tennessee.
Derrick Henry's not in Tennessee no more.
When Derrick Henry got traded?
I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry is in Atlanta.
No, they ain't got Derrick Henry. They drafted B. John Robinson out of Texas. They wouldn't have traded for Derrick Henry.
I think
they wouldn't have traded. They drafted B. John. They drafted B. John in the top 10.
I know they drafted in the top 10. I could have sworn
they wouldn't have made a trade for Derrick Henry. Not like that. That move don't need to be made. Atlanta.
He almost got traded. That would I wasn't tripping. I know the Dirty Bird tried to get him.
I know they're trying to get him. But I know they got B. John. I'm like that trade option over.
But that's the only. Everybody else is passing today. Man, we got Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Them people not playing for the sweepstakes of Caleb Williams. I don't know who is.
So we like
the Buccaneers are not playing for the sweepstakes of Caleb. I don't know who is.
So to me it's barbecue chicken time, baby. So like you gotta have to. It didn't like when you talk about the elites in the NFC. There's only one. Well, it's two. It's two. The Eagles and the 49ers.
Yes, that's two.
Everything else wide open. Yeah.
Wide open.
But one of those teams, real deal gotta get it. You have to pass rush because like even though the Eagles run the ball pretty good, but it's it's how they run and it's how they pass. It's not they're not trying to pound on you. It's like we got to use our speed. We got to try to get to the outside on the stuff. So pass rushing techniques is something that will help them in that category.
But the point is you alluded to about coaching, and I was bringing up the NBA Finals. the Eagles lost two pretty good coaches. They lost their OC and their DC to head coaching jobs. So the talent is still there.
Yeah, but
I mean, this is this is what they call Philly Bulldogs over there. But but you got two new coordinators. So that's going to be a change in Philadelphia. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. I don't forecast y'all going anywhere. Don't get in my DMs. Don't get in my comment section.
hello, somebody.
I don't forecast y'all going. Even though I love the addition of Stephon Gilmore to the team. Obviously,
Man, why is who that's the man? Man, look at
listen.
but
We wide open
on the offensive side. The thing I'm worried about is what's going to be our identity. Because I understand why we get Jamal Williams. I understand that. I understand it completely. Like you get it.
I love the signing.
You weaken a up and coming team. You buy Alvin Kamara some time, but then also you buy yourself some time for the games that Alvin Kamara is going to be out. All right. So I get that part.
And he gives you a change of pace back that we used to have with Kamara.
Don't for the life of me understand why we drafted Keandre Perkins, the running back from TCU. Miller, Keandre. I don't understand.
He wasn't even healthy.
You know what I'm saying? But for Mickey, who's been one of the things that Mickey's been great at over the years, since 2006, is finding
undrafted free agent
running backs. You know what I'm saying? The running backs that we have drafted, we have hit on.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. But you can find them a dime a dozen. I thought we should have gotten, another interior lineman. Offensive. Yes.
So you're talking about because they declined, and to me, to your point, right? Mm-hmm. They declined Cesar Ruiz, fifth option, which y'all know me. I'm a Michigan fan. Y'all can touch. I just like to pick when we picked them. Mm-hmm. And that's it. But I watched Michigan, but that wasn't the first round pick, and so
because they thought Eric McCoy wasn't going. They thought they could move Eric McCoy to guard. But then they was like, oh, this dude is elite right here,
And so we knew that going forward, this combination there was going to come to a hold. Mm-hmm. So not addressing that situation when you knew you was not going to accept that option, to me was like, what we doing?
Yeah, but then also like I felt like we could have drafted a tackle.
They did out of Old Dominion.
No, but I'm saying like a start but they drafted him to kick him inside. I think we should have drafted like a true tackle and put our first round pick last year at guard. Because to me, he's not a tackle. I like the roughness and stuff. If we were playing football, if it was a 95, oh yeah, you don't have to pass block and all that stuff. You just let's bully. He's the perfect guy for that.
The game is different.
Yeah, you got to get what I'm saying, because Brian Burns is still eating him alive. And that was in like a week 2 or something like that, and the boy ain't played since. So it's like I want to get rid of the Andrews Peak so bad. I want to get rid of that contract. But it's like that was the only head scratcher in the offseason, because like we did pick up a late round wide receiver who I think is going to be phenomenal for us.
A.T. Perry.
So that's why I didn't. A lot of people, I kept hearing a lot of people say, "Man, a D-Hop to the Saints." D-Hop was saying like, "Hey, we got a D-Hop already at Michael Thomas. We just got to see what the hell he's gonna do."
You got the same guy with the same abilities.
But like you were saying earlier, like D-Hop. I mean, Michael Thomas, if healthy. All right. Olave, Rasheed Ali, A.T. Perry. Okay, we cooking with something now. Not to mention Juwan Johnson, who they're working out at wide receiver in OTAs now, and then you got Foster Moreau, LSU, who
God bless God, being clear with cancer.
You know what I'm saying? And he, if you just check his stats, he put up decent real decent, real good numbers, considering the fact that Darren Waller was in the same room as him.
Yeah.
And that was all they had for the most part until they got Renfro and
I just think having him in there, he could be used. They now traded the guy to Buffalo. I mean the Broncos.
Adam, I dropped that bitch Troutman.
Yeah. They got him out of here, so you bring another tight end here. I like I said, it comes down to identity for me. The thing I question with the Saints is identity on the offensive side of the football. Their secondary to me is their strength.
I don't think so.
What you talking about? The linebacker core ain't really a linebacker core. It's two guys.
But here's why. Because I think we go back to the coaching thing. Chris Richard did so much for Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
Think about what he did with before
Lante Taylor.
Before Paulson Debo got hurt. It's like he had Paulson Debo firing off. Marcus May was real good. Then you got Alante Taylor in the mix. We had Bradley Rowley playing at a high level when he was with us. But we lost Chris Richard. I can't even think of who the guy that's coming in and coaching the secondary name is. But it's like that guy.
I'm just talking about the roster.
That's a marriage thing.
Right. I'm just talking about the roster itself.
We need turnovers. Honestly, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was aggravating me. We need turnovers.
Yeah, because we only had two. Tyrann only had the only two interceptions last year. And Tyrann Matthew.
And as much money as we pay in that secondary, I need more.
They can't catch.
I need more.
They're not
Some
receivers.
type of. I don't. To me, I need big plays on defense. I need big plays on defense, game-changing plays, or just momentum shifting plays. We don't have that.
Those guys, obviously Chauncey Gardner-Johnson now is a Lion. Obviously, Marcus Williams is now a Raven. Some guys are gone.
Yeah, but shit, Marcus Williams also stopped us from going to the Super Bowl. I bet you won't.
So it's just one of those things. Like I said, I think the identity on offense is the thing that crushes me, the D-line on defense, and I just think that putting it all together. Going into year two, I think Dennis Allen has his work cut out for him. I think a lot of times, with some coaches, they get promoted from DC to head coach. I think that first year is just a grace year. Even if you see a lot of things that you don't like, it's a change of what used to be.
You got to make the culture your own.
You gotta make the culture. So that's a year thing, right? Mm-hmm. Year two, I think if we start seeing some of the same things, that pattern won't happen. I mean, like it's out of who's on the rosters or him. And I think if the Saints are not a playoff team this year, if they, to me, this is just my position. If we do not win this division, I'm questioning it all.
If we don't win this division, fire the coaches.
I agree.
We don't win this division, fire the coaches. There's nothing.
There's nothing stopping.
There's nothing in this division that's stopping us from winning it.
And to me, I'm gonna say this because I know we don't go live often. I'm gonna say this and we could get ready to wrap up. I do not care if Derek Carr get hurt. I think you have a.
Whoa.
I do not care.
Whoa. I don't know what he drinking.
No, because I think you have a backup that's capable of still winning you games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, we don't want. We tired. Look, we don't want hurt quarterbacks no more.
What I'm saying is,
yes, we do. Yes, we do. Fred. We do have a backup quarterback that can win you games, but still, think about.
I'm talking about making the playoffs.
Think about the dynamic that changes. It's a different. We've seen that Pete Carmichael cannot adjust week to week.
Then you gonna get rid of him.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Why we didn't go get Eric Bieniemy?
Beyond my way of thinking. Maybe because we interviewed the guy, and the guy didn't want to be the head coach. He wanted to be the head coach. He didn't have to be head coach. He ain't come here to be the coordinator. But here's the deal.
But he was looking for a spot.
He set up for Washington.
They bad.
The point is, this team has no excuse not to win this division. None. I'm sorry. If you lose this division to a second-year Atlanta quarterback and Desmond Ridder, and I don't know what Atlanta's doing offensively or defensively. Obviously, you have the rookie quarterback over there in Carolina with the veteran Andy Dalton and whatever they're trying to accomplish over there, rebuild. And then you got this shit show over here in Tampa Bay between Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield, and this is what they got out here playing football. And that defense is not the same defense that we talked about.
But they got them damn receivers, though. Godwin and Evans still there.
But Baker Mayfield is bad.
Yeah.
So if we can't win this division, yeah, we got some problems.
Fire everybody.
Fire the coaches, because we reached a point where I can't forecast the Saints not winning this division. Now, playoffs, Super Bowl run, whole another conversation. NFC South, it's there to lose. And if they can't win it, I think we're in a big problem.
At worst, we should be the 4th seed.
Agreed.
At worst.
That's it.
4th seed.
4th seed. That's just how I see it. I think they have a starting quarterback that I want him to play every game. I don't care if these receivers get hurt. I just don't care. The division is not good enough to beat the Saints. It's just not.
I don't want nobody hurt. I don't care what he talking about. I don't know why he keep wishing that juju on us.
I'm not wishing anything. I'm just saying that I'm not giving them an excuse.
The power of the tongue, Fred.
No excuses, man. No excuses why the Saints should not be the NFC South champs. I don't have an excuse for them. This division is bad. And I think those 3 other teams that we got in this division are all going to be drafted into the top 10. That's how bad it is. And there's no disrespect to them. They're just not good enough to win games yet.
No.
So, with that being said, the Saints should win the NFC South. They should be at worst the 4th seed. Now, when the playoffs come, hey, I can judge them for who they are at that time. But if they can't win this division, yeah, we got a bigger issue. We made a mistake at head coach. And the rest of them that's there too. Made a mistake. It can't get worse than what he's about to coach against and play against. It's not going to get worse than that. Because they're going to keep picking with top picks, eventually get better. This is you got to win it. You got to get to the playoffs this year.
If not now, then win.
Then win.
Now, before we wrap it up, we had a Facebook poll on who y'all thought would win the finals.
Y'all bad.
And y'all got 30% say the Nuggets gonna win, but majority of the FanView Nation say they rocking with the Heat Nation.
They rocking the Heat Nation. Whoo!
That's what they say. That what the producers say. The producers got the numbers. Producers say that's what it is.
67% rocking with Heat Nation, 33% rocking with the Nuggets Nation. I'm sorry, y'all. Can't do it. It's Nuggets Nation. I got to go with the Nuggets. That's my position.
I don't care. LeBron ain't in it. I'm not watching. That's just how I feel. I ain't got no NBA team. I got players. My player not in it, so it doesn't bother my free app.
Listen, that's our episode, FanView Podcast. Listen, keep staying subscribed. We're going to have new episodes coming out. As y'all know, we have new episodes come out every week on FanView Podcast. Follow us on our YouTube channel. That's where a lot of our episodes are uploaded to. I really appreciate it. Listen, keep growing this. We can't stop. We would not stop.
I am.
It's the FanView Podcast. Again, don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on IG. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok. It's FanView NOLA. If you're still on Twitter. But don't forget to, follow us, subscribe to our page, man. We got so many interviews, so many in-depth conversations that we get into, man. This podcast cannot stop, won't stop. We appreciate all y'all rocking with us for almost a half a decade now. Over half a decade now.
Yeah, more than a decade.
Yeah.
I gotta say this, man. And I just gonna say it. First of all, our brother G Sports is covering a camp right now. So me and Fred get to say this without any flashback, baby. 20 years ago, the greatest class to ever come through Lemuel Wallace Higgins High School graduated.
Agreed. No disagreement.
And next Saturday, on the 10th,
We got a reunion.
them same people is going to be at the reunion, baby.
We got a reunion.
It's going down. If you ain't buy a ticket so long for you, we'll see you next go round. We going to go live. We going to have producer Mike up there on the table. He going to bunny hop for everybody from 4th Street all the way to Harahan, where the reunion is being held at, baby. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Tell your friend to tell a friend that me and Fred might not be in the building next week. Because we going to be pre-gaming.
Yes.
And Fred, we got to make sure Fred don't buy no brute, just like he did when he was at Truman a couple years ago.
Hey, listen. Ain't no Brute here. I've evolved. Brute gone, baby.
Was Michael Jordan cologne? And that's the show, goddamn. With the basketball.
That's our episode, FanView Podcast. Listen, appreciate it. Like, subscribe, boy. Hey, boy, you funny as a motherfucker, boy. Boy, you funny. Listen, keep locked in, keep dialed in, and we appreciate y'all. Boy, shit. Michael Jordan love.
My boy Mike gonna show up there with the curve.
Mike, you got the old spice?
Look, y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BFredJones.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, _G Sports with a Z on the end. And on Twitter, G_Sports with a Z on the end.
You can follow me on Instagram at big_homie_hen and on Twitter at heyyou15.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.